Hey everyone, I'm in the studio today. It is May 13th, I think, and I didn't come yesterday. Usually I think my schedule is going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but yesterday I had an appointment, a physio appointment, so I had to go to that, and then I decided to stay home. But I did do a little bit of work yesterday. I worked on collecting images for the next set of work in this series after this piece is finished, and that is a series of 3 pieces that explore kind of legend stories, ideas of my ancestors from Ireland, Scotland, England. Maybe some of them are more directly referencing ancestors than others. Some of them are more direct referencing the country themselves. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of a different technique on this next set, where I'm using black as well as red on white. And so I need to gather some images, some source images to help me to create those images. And I'm still trying to determine which ones of them will have the 3-dimensional aspect and which ones of them will not be 3-dimensional. And I'm working that out. I might end up having to do a few little studies of these because it is a new technique that I'm bringing in, and I want to make sure that I play around with the images enough so that I feel resolved in them enough before I start putting them onto the pieces of fabric, the white backgrounds. And I believe, unlike the other ones where I quilted them first, on these I'm going to put the images on first and quilt after, just in order to use the quilting to emphasize some of the images. But again, that could change at any time. So yes, I'm here. I also did some, you probably would have seen, I washed these hankies that, all have this lovely tatting on them and embroidery, and they're all kind of vintage hankies that I've inherited over time, which are going to be a one-off piece that is going to be included in a pop-up exhibition that I'm working towards in August. So that will probably be the next piece that I work on before I start those other 3, but I think that I can probably be doing some tandem work on them all. Other than that, this week I'm picking up a check. We applied for a small grant, and we're given a small grant for the Clocking In project, which is really exciting. The family life is really busy this week. My oldest is in his tech week for his theater production, so that means really long days for him. So trying to get him out the door on time, but also trying to figure out ways for him to have more energy to get him through this really busy and long day time. And there's some stuff going on in the evenings this week, some meetings and just some life stuff happening, but nothing that isn't manageable. Today and tomorrow will be busy, and then the other days will be less so. And I think that's my check-in for now. May so far is going well, and I'm just working away kind of steadily. Lots of calls and applications and things going out right now for different things happening in the year, and it's a little bit of a FOMO feeling for me to not apply to these things, but I really think that focusing on this work and getting it done is I'm going to be really happy that I did that in the end. So talk to you again soon. Hi everybody, getting to the studio 3 days this week, yay for me. Not here for a super long time. It will end up being almost the same amount of time as I usually spend. I'm gonna leave a little bit earlier so that I can go get groceries, and I've been up since 5:45, so I don't know how long my stamina will last today, but I'm here. I'm going to work some more on the, I think native land is what this piece is going to be called, a piece, and which is the letters. And I'm also going to prep the edges for this one today. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to putter. I do have a lot of other stuff that I should be doing. Admin work, a newsletter, an invoice, a submission. But I was going to bring a piece to re-photograph it here at the studio, and then I forgot to do that. So I think I'm going to have to do it on Monday instead, which I think might be the deadline for the submission, but I still can get it in on that day. Yeah, so I just wanted to update you on that. It's a rainy day, so our kind of like little run of sunshine has gone away. But that's very normal for us in May. It's not usually a super sunny month here, so we need the rain anyway. Yeah, so I'll check in again when I have more to share. Studio today. It's Friday, May 23rd, and this is only the second time I've been here this week, but I got here. So still working on this piece. I'm going to add all the O's to it today, and I'm hoping to be able to wrap up the letters in the coming week. And I also need to work on the symbols for the A Light in the Window community project. And I'm going to be going next week to do a final install of symbols onto the panels while they're still up in the gallery. And then on the 14th is the last workshop, and then we'll take all of them down and I'll bring them to the studio here and finish it all up. So I can't believe it. It's already here, the end of the project. Yeah, things have been just intense and busy the last while, this week in particular, I guess. And so I'm really trying right now to establish some sort of a balance between working and home life and my personal goals. I mean, aren't we all always trying to do that? Maybe balance is the wrong word, like a flow between all of them is what I'm trying to get to. And this week I was kind of easy on myself because I had my period, so I did work out yesterday. Usually Thursday would be my yoga day, but this week yoga was canceled. So I did have a workout. I do on this week when I'm in my period, I usually let myself be a little bit lax on the physical activity based on, how I'm feeling, in my body. I want to check in with my body and make sure I'm not just pushing through and doing the same thing every week when I'm actually not feeling up to it. I want to give myself that space to, check in. Yeah, I guess that's it. That's what's going on. A lot of life stuff, and trying to focus on getting this work done. Next week, I think I'm gonna do a downtown day that will like coincide with going to the museum to do the last panels. And then, so I'm gonna do that, and then I'm going to do, like start getting this piece. I've decided to do a stop motion with this piece. Because it's all letters and words, so the words will come across in the stop motion video, which means that I'm going to need to finish off the edges, finish all the letters, do the stop motion, and then sew all the letters on. So yeah, that's that. I'm excited about that. I think that'll be a really cool thing to have from this piece. So I'm excited to do that. And my oldest son, who knows how to do stop motion, is going to help me with that. Yeah, I think that's it for the update. I will be making lots of letters today so that I have letters to work on this weekend when I'm home, and then I will be back in the studio on Monday. Next week I'd like to do Monday, Tuesday in the studio, and then Friday potentially will be my day to be out and about, but I'll have to play that by ear as I always do these days because there's just so much going on.